requires us to abandon all our prejudices about our Stone Age ancestors. Far from being technological primitives, their accomplishments here prove that they possessed hitherto unsuspected abilities, rivaling those of much later and supposedly much more advanced civilizations.
This story begins with a question that Graham Hancock has been asking for years.
Does it make sense that those people with a very simple material culture could have been responsible for creating the largest, most magnificent, most complex structure on Malta?
What if the history we know is wrong? What if ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we have been led to believe?
What really mystifies all who come here, including the archaeologists who excavated the site, are the astonishing carvings.
Hancock's groundbreaking work challenges the very foundation of conventional archaeology,
transferring their technology, their skills, their knowledge to hunter-gatherers,
suggesting that lost civilizations long forgotten by mainstream history might have influenced the course of humanity in ways we can't even imagine.
This is something which is casting new light on human history.
His theories delve deep into the mysteries of ancient monuments, texts, and evidence that seem to point to a forgotten chapter of human history. But what does this mean for our understanding of the past? Let's get started. Rewriting the timeline of human civilization. For centuries, mainstream history has painted a picture of human civilization's origins that starts with ancient Mesopotamia around 5,000 years ago. According to traditional narratives, the Sumerians, Egyptians, and later the Greeks laid the foundation for modern civilization through their advances in writing, mathematics, and architecture. These civilizations are credited with developing everything from the wheel to written language and monumental structures, creating the framework of the world we know today. However, Graham Hancock challenges this widely accepted narrative, arguing that the origins of civilization might go much further back in time.
Archaeologists regard this as just a fanciful tale. But I think that by ignoring it completely, we're in danger of missing some important clues to the origins of this incredible place.
In his work, Hancock proposes that a much older, advanced civilization existed thousands of years before the Sumerians and Egyptians.
It's a highly sophisticated, highly advanced megalithic site that's about 7,000 years older than Stonehenge and about 7,000 years older than the Giza pyramids. And suddenly, the notion that there was no culture in the world that was capable of doing such things 12,000 years ago is blown out of the water.
He suggests that this civilization, one with profound knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering, may have influenced the cultures that followed. Hancock points to ancient sites like the Great Pyramids of Egypt and Göbekli Tepe in Turkey as evidence of this lost civilization.
There was no agriculture at Göbekli Tepe when it was built, but strangely, at exactly the time that it was being created, 11,600 years ago, agriculture appears all around it.
Arguing that their complexity and precision surpass what we would expect from the civilizations that supposedly built them. Through this theory, Hancock encourages us to reconsider the traditional timeline of human history and explore the possibility of a far older and more sophisticated global culture than we've been taught. The evidence for a lost civilization. Hancock's argument begins with the idea that ancient structures like the pyramids of Egypt and the stone temples of South America show signs of advanced knowledge that would have been impossible for the cultures credited with building them. In Fingerprints of the Gods, Hancock points to the precision with which the Great Pyramid of Giza aligns with the cardinal points and its mathematical proportions, which mirror the Earth's dimensions with extraordinary accuracy. Hancock suggests these sites were not constructed by the Egyptians or Mayans alone, but by a lost civilization that predates these cultures by thousands of years. According to his theory, this civilization possessed advanced knowledge and technology, which was later passed down and rediscovered by subsequent cultures. Hancock proposes that ancient Egyptians were not the original creators of the pyramids, but rather custodians of ancient knowledge from an earlier, more advanced society.
The Sphinx is mute and anonymous. There are no texts contemporary with its construction that tell us who built it or why it was built or when it was built.
His theory invites us to confront the possibility that we may have overlooked a significant part of human history: cataclysmic events and the lost civilization. To support his theory, Hancock examines evidence suggesting a global catastrophe around 12,000 years ago that may have wiped out an advanced civilization. He proposes that a comet or asteroid impact triggered a dramatic climate shift, resulting in widespread destruction and the collapse of this sophisticated civilization. Hancock points to ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which is over 11,000 years old, as evidence of this lost civilization. The intricately carved stone pillars and advanced architecture perplex archaeologists, as they predate known civilization by millennia. Hancock argues that such advanced knowledge could only have come from a previous, more advanced culture, possibly survivors of the catastrophic event he describes. By linking this event to archaeological findings, Hancock asserts that human history is far older and more complex than we've been taught. Myths as echoes of real events. Hancock explores ancient myths, suggesting they may be based on real events passed down through generations. He argues that myths like the Great Flood found in cultures such as the Bible's Noah's Ark and the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh are not just legends, but collective memories of a lost civilization destroyed by a cataclysmic event. For instance, the flood myths from various cultures could stem from a massive deluge caused by the melting of glaciers at the end of the Ice Age. Hancock believes these stories reflect a real global disaster that affected many regions of the world. By analyzing these myths alongside archaeological evidence, Hancock presents a compelling argument that these ancient stories contain fragments of truth, surviving remnants of a forgotten chapter in human history. These myths, he believes, are not mere fairy tales, but echoes of the past that have been distorted over time. Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. The criticism of Hancock's theories. Graham Hancock's theories have sparked significant controversy, especially among mainstream archaeologists and historians. Critics argue that his interpretations of ancient evidence are speculative and lack the scientific rigor needed to validate such claims. For instance, his theory that the Great Pyramid of Giza is much older than traditionally believed is met with skepticism, as experts maintain it was built around 2500 BCE. Additionally, Hancock's hypothesis of a global cataclysm caused by a comet impact is controversial. Some scientists believe the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis is unproven and doesn't adequately explain climate change at the end of the Ice Age. Despite the criticism, Hancock's work continues to captivate the public. His ability to weave together mythology, archaeology, and geology into a compelling narrative has earned him a devoted following. While his theories may be unproven, they encourage us to rethink the traditional historical narrative and question what we know about human history, opening up new avenues for further exploration. Uniting cultures through ancient knowledge. One of Hancock's strengths is his ability to find common ground between seemingly disparate cultures, suggesting they shared knowledge and architectural expertise that transcended time and geography. For example, the pyramids of Egypt, the stepped pyramids of Mesoamerica, and the megalithic structures of Stonehenge all share architectural similarities, despite being separated by vast distances and centuries of time. Hancock argues that these similarities are too significant to be coincidental, proposing that they stem from a lost civilization that existed long before the Egyptians and Sumerians. This civilization, he suggests, passed down its knowledge to later cultures, influencing their monumental architecture. Instead of independent discovery, Hancock believes these cultures inherited architectural knowledge from a shared source. This theory challenges the conventional view that each civilization developed its advanced structures in isolation and invites us to reconsider how cultures across time and space may have been interconnected. Redefining civilization. Hancock's theories challenge traditional definitions of civilization, suggesting that the true measure of civilization may lie not in written records or monumental architecture, but in the advanced knowledge and cultural practices passed down through generations. He argues that we may be searching for evidence in the wrong places. For example, oral traditions, often dismissed as myth, may hold crucial clues to understanding the true scope of ancient human knowledge. These stories, which have been passed down for generations, could contain fragments of wisdom about technology, astronomy, and mathematics. By reinterpreting these myths, Hancock encourages us to consider that civilization may not be solely defined by tangible artifacts like writing or buildings, but by the intangible knowledge and practices that shape cultures. His theories push us to think beyond the conventional view of civilization and recognize the value of oral traditions and cultural memory in understanding humanity's ancient past. Hancock's impact on popular culture. Hancock's work has had a profound impact on both archaeology and popular culture. His book Fingerprints of the Gods and subsequent documentaries have inspired a global audience to question the mainstream historical narrative. Hancock's theories, though controversial, have resonated with many people who feel that history has been simplified and overlooked significant aspects of humanity's past. His ideas have brought ancient mysteries and alternative archaeology into the mainstream, challenging the idea of a linear progression of civilization. Hancock's work has also found an audience among those who believe that much of ancient knowledge has been suppressed or forgotten over time. His exploration of lost civilizations and their possible influence on modern cultures has made these topics more accessible to the general public. Hancock's impact extends beyond academic circles, influencing how we think about the past and inspiring new discussions about the future of humanity. In the end, Graham Hancock's work presents a provocative challenge to the historical narrative we've been taught. Whether you agree with his theories or not, there's no denying that they push the boundaries of conventional thinking and encourage us to question what we know about our ancient past. His exploration of lost civilizations, hidden knowledge, and ancient myths opens the door to new possibilities, inviting us to reimagine the history of humanity. As we continue to search for answers, perhaps the most important takeaway is the recognition that there is still so much left to discover, hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be unearthed.